You got spare game codes or any digital goods? There is a place you can sell them in less than 1 minute. Watch. Go to G2A.com. Click Start Selling. Fast login. Go to My Account and click on Selling tab. Sell new item. Enter name, code, set a price. And done. G2A.com Digital Marketplace. Global selling simplified.
Welcome back, everybody, here to your coverage of the D2CL. I'm Toby1, your host for the English live stream tonight as we go into our last series of the night after what was, well, we're going to class it as our European dinner break. We are back, however, after said break, to come in to our game. Kaipi up against CIS Rejects. It's the last game of this group, but there's still 2 group stage games. This one as well as our final one, which will be coming up later on in the week. I believe it's actually happening in 2 days' time, and that will decide our last finalists. Let's get to it. Welcome in my co-caster so we can start talking about Dota and not all these abstract things that everyone wants us to talk about, obviously. Ryu, welcome to the broadcast, man.
I like talking about random things. What? That's the only reason why I'm here. I'm not here for Dota. What are you talking about?
Here's something. I actually got props for my countdown description. I had a UK viewer tune in and said, you know what? That was awesome. I'm like, yeah.
You just changed one person's life, Toby.
Well, no. I'm not going to say
making
reference to one TV
you know.
show changes someone's life unless you're studying for your Year 12 finals. And yes, you need some extra help to stimulate your brain. And Countdown has now given you that. That is one way for it to happen, yes.
It'll make you go insane if you play the game. Probably.
Insane in the membrane. Let's get to the game, man. Doombringer, Wisp, again, ban pool, no surprise. And Dying as well as Darkseer are being banned out, so the Spirit Breaker and the Tuskar are let slip through in this game. And I'm interested to see the approach here of Kaipi.
10 seconds
like
remaining.
CIS Rejects, we know Gold Black likes a draft where every feel is very powerful
5 seconds
and
remaining.
allows them to be aggressive time and time again. And Kaipi is kind of in the hands of Bone 7, so whoever knows what a Romanian team is going to do.
Yeah, wait. Can you tell me is Bisa from the Americas, or am I thinking of a different Bisa? Because
you might be thinking of a different Bisa, man.
Okay. There's because I know there's a different one then, because normally before Kaipi was kind of like a hybrid team
10
back
seconds
when
remaining.
it was originally with RTZ and stuff. I think there was another
5
person who was American. There's like
seconds
2 Americans and then 3 Europeans. So.
The information I have on Bisa is he's actually a player from the United Kingdom.
Okay.
Yeah, and the only record I have of him prior to this is actually only in Kaipi. He hasn't been anywhere else apart from Kaipi.
Alright, well, I know Come With Me and Bone 7, so I'll have to see how these other people do. Come With Me's been around for a while, Bone 7 as well. See how his new team works out. You can never go wrong when you pick up a Shadow Fiend, but it is on the dire side, so you're not really, get that easy access to the jungle. But we've seen what a Night Stalker can do in a lot of the games, and it's very scary. It's another aggressive hero, just like the Tusk, and you can get a lot of things done in the early game.
That he can. Like our earlier Night Stalker game, it was just a rough situation for the Night Stalker anyway. Like, yes, he was actually doing good things, but they didn't have enough to deal with both an Aegis Prophet as well as an anti-mage. So the split push was a real concern that the Night Stalker just could not deal with by himself. In this game, I'm kind of with you. Like, it's a lot easier for the Night Stalker and the SF because they can force things.
10 seconds
You can mop up
remaining.
creep waves really easily, and then, like, if you need to, you could actually
5
kind of
seconds
play
remaining.
the base race game. If you get forced into that situation, of course, it's not the most ideal.
Yeah, I love
Team
this
ban.
Husk ban. I like some of the Husk. I want to say Husk Brood Slardar, and there's another one that's kind of like always in the second phase, which I agree with
Dire
most of them.
team ban.
Either if you don't take out Huskar, you take out normally like Alchemist too. We haven't seen him banned or picked. Sometimes that hero does amazing, sometimes he falls off completely. It feels like, when you're playing against an AA, sometimes it becomes
10
very
seconds
problematic.
remaining.
And I think A is a great counter to
5 seconds
well, obviously a lot of the
remaining.
healing things. Winter Wyvern in this case could be, they could have the Alchemist as well as they could still have the
Dire
Huskar.
team
So
pick.
trying to deal with all these situations, it's very problematic when you're drafting.
It's kind of difficult too when you're an alchemist, and like it's not only the AA, but you see like the hero that's fourth banned out by Kaipi. You got heroes like Slider who could just amplify this damage on you, and just basically rune control time and time again. The alchemist can't keep grabbing all these bounty runes because people have now moved into this more
10
aggressive style of
seconds remaining.
supports and cores, which can contest the runes at all times
5 seconds
and rotate
remaining.
around to actually stop that alchemist from getting runes. So I almost feel like the early days of alchemist were the wanted days because
Radiant
teams
team
didn't
pick.
really draft to stop the movement of the alchemist and the farm of the alchemist, but now that's really changed. So we're moving on into a better pasture of life, into an
I hope so.
aggressive matter, which is nice.
Yeah, I think if you have like the Alchemist against the Slardar situation, you might even be forced to not go Radiance. You might be forced to go for that, early evasion
10
with the
seconds
medallion
remaining.
bonus armor into the Solar Crest. So you kind of have
5
to
seconds
change it up
remaining.
sometimes when it's different drafts here and there. But this is going to be normally we see
Reserve
Embers
time.
paired with the TA, but this game we're going to be paired with a Shadow Fiend. So a lot of sustainability. Both of these scale really effectively into the late game, and it's just on CIS Rejects to see. All right, what can we do now? I don't know if they can really
Wind
punish
Ranger at
them
your
if they want to
service.
go aggressive. But if you're
Dire
picking
team
like
pick.
this, you potentially can. Wind Ranger isn't that bad against Ember Spirit mid. He can definitely do a number on. I mean, Shadow Fiend. He can do a number on him pretty easily, and if it depends on what the Tusk is too. He could be roaming around, cause havoc for the Shadow Fiend as well.
Expect heavy aggression no matter what, man. Like Godlike isn't gonna let Kaipi have space. This is more than likely a support Night Stalker.
10 seconds remaining.
And if that's the case, then yeah, Gold Black is going to get some as aggressive heroes as
5
possible
seconds
that can
remaining.
keep fighting, that can keep attacking, that can keep pushing. I just know what's really his way. And yeah, there's that Bat Rider for their off lane.
Radiant team
So
pick.
it's a support Night Stalker. We're getting 3 calls up from Kaipi. There's a lot of farming to be had. The Dire Jungle might get a little cramped. Actually, not just a little cramped, very cramped. With both the SF and the Bat Rider. That means the Bat Rider kind of has to stay on lane.
This is very greedy, as you're saying. It's
'Cause,
sometimes
what-
you can
what
get away
10
with
seconds
greed, but
remaining.
Like, what happens if the Bat Rider screws up? Like, if the Bat Rider gets killed in
5
the off lane,
seconds remaining.
he can't get back to it. He can't contest the stacks, or the pull. The Night
Reserve
Stalker
time.
then is what? Like, it's he can leech the experience as SF flash farms. Bat Rider can't rotate off to a lane to ensure he can hunt with the Night Stalker during the nighttime phases because he won't have Blink Dagger.
they just don't really have a tempo controlling hero besides the Night Stalker. And then the first Night he's not going to be, I don't think, that useful. He'll only be maybe level 2 or 3. Potentially level 4 is decent, where you have the Void and then the Fear. But this is, yeah, it's just way too greedy right now, at least, depending on what CIS Rejects want to do. Like, if they can still play dual greed too. Like, they could still do something wonky as well. Like, Wind Ranger's always a great semi carry. Like, once you get the Ags up, Blink into, Daedalus, she's definitely one of the best, like, even carries at that point of the game, where you just can kill anyone you find off on their alone. Same as kind of like the Bat Rider though. Same kind of feel, but the Bat Rider, just you need somebody else to be there. With Wind Ranger, you don't. So I want to see how they want to approach this. Do they want to be even more greedy, or do they want to just keep running at them? And I don't think you have to be more greedy, like you're saying. This is just run at them. I think that's what CS want to do.
You could also just try and passive up the lanes. Like, you grab
10
yourself something
seconds
like
remaining.
Okay, Slack wasn't exactly what I was
Dire
thinking, but it
team
still
ban.
works. Because Slack doesn't really care about the aggression from Bat Rider. He's able just to shrug it all off. And then his initiation is really damn good. His combination with the Winter Wyvern, the Tuskar, and the Wind Ranger, like, them all together, it's control, it's run-them kind of
10
style.
seconds
They just
remaining.
need to ensure their early game. Make sure that Kaipi doesn't get too much out
5
of the lanes.
seconds remaining.
Wind Ranger versus SF should be much of a problem. Just be mindful of raises.
Reserve
the
time.
Tuskar off lane's not going to get harassed out by the Night Stalker. And they banned the Ancient Apparition, but I'm actually thinking something along the lines of something like a Lich, where you can run like a Lich Tuskar dual off lane, and you just keep the Ember Spirits farmed down because of that, and the Night Stalker out of the lane, because he can't battle against Frost Armor.
Yeah, you can easily do dual lanes
10
here for
seconds
CIS
remaining.
and win. Like, they can do a lot of things. Like, they can even still go back for
5 seconds
something mid,
remaining.
like a Queen of Pain, and put Wind Ranger, Tusk off lane, Wyvern, and Slark against the Bat Rider, and I think you'll still get a lot out of the lanes.
Dire
So
team
they can do so much for CIS, whereas Kaipi, they're kind of limited here. They probably want a last support hero here. What's really good that's left? Maybe Shadow Priest, but then you're lacking a lot of... then that's
you don't
like
have
really,
stuns and controls if you do that.
yeah, it's... But they kind of needed defensive maybe.
I wouldn't mind something like a Disruptor. Like, that may not be too shabby here.
Honestly, I think this could be one of those games where Venge
10
is
seconds
really good.
remaining.
Like, you have a lot of things to counter. Venge swap for Curse,
5 seconds
Tusk snowballs
remaining.
in, Slark pounces. I mean, these heroes are going to need some savings. Or
Reserve time.
potentially, Force Staff heroes, which...
There's some good negative armor combination too. Yeah, it's... I can see it. I can see it. But...
Lion.
Okay, so they go for more control in a way
Radiant team
of stuns, hexes, and then burst damage from the Lion.
But that's even twice as greedy now. I mean, this is...
You're looking at two heroes that need to get Blink Daggers basically to be really effective. That's it. SF needs
like,
to
laning
get Mech,
stage...
Ember needs Battle Fury, Night Stalker needs Aghanim Scepter. Everyone's just so needy in Kaipi.
Yeah, this has got to be one of the greediest drafts in a while,
10
at least.
seconds
Lion
remaining.
needs super amounts of levels. Lion and Ember is, I feel like,
5
not even that
seconds
strong of a
remaining.
dual lane, maybe until they're level 3 both. Then it becomes a little bit better when Flame Guard's buffed up. But we'll just have to see how the rotations of Kaipi come in. That's probably going to be the biggest thing. Eyes are on Night Stalker and how aggressive CIS is. If like they're too aggressive and they dive towers and then they're punished because of it, the game could be in Kaipi's favor.
It could be. It definitely could be. But CIS Rejects, like, if these rotations of Kaipi fail, they are going to snowball so hard, and pun is not intended with the Tuskar on the field.
I just like CIS too. I know you feel the same way just because of what you're talking about. Like,
Yeah.
if I had to pick, I would say this is kind of looking kind of easiest in
10
CIS favor.
seconds
But
remaining.
we'll have to see how the play comes.
It's like, I don't understand how,
5
like, I can
seconds
understand
remaining.
all of the wonderful things that Kaipi have, that if they all work together, it's going to be absolutely spectacular. Like, their team will completely crush CIS up. The problem is getting to that position. Like, when you talk about greed lineups, you start talking about danger periods between like that 5 to 15, 20 minute mark where you have to get critical items up on critical heroes because you're getting greedy, you're trying to farm up during that period of time, and that's when you can get punished by your opposition. With this lineup, I'm almost saying that has to be extended to almost 30 minutes for the greed period. Because Kaipi is sitting there going, well, we need this, and this. Like, unless CIS Rejects start feeding kills, Kaipi won't get that injection of money they require. So it's the problem of when Kaipi can actually do anything.
Dire's structures
And if
are
something goes
fortified.
even slightly wrong, the Bat Rider can't recover inside of his own jungle. If he does, then he cripples the SF. The Lion is still a puller. The Night Stalker needs to rely on early gangster work, but the Ember Spirit can't really help him in that early stage. The SF, in a way, can, but you don't have that jump initiator to get the initial control. So it's like, what do you want to do? You run on the Wind Ranger, you need to be able to get there before she gets vision of you. So darkness is essential, get the silence before she wind runs, or the SF can't do anything. And even then, if you do think you can do something, you have to then silence the Tuskar, because he could snowball protect, the Earthshaker Fissure could stop you, your initiation on the Slark, he could just like Dark Pact out your damage, like, or it's like, what do you want to do? Like, I'm trying to think of like how Kaipi are approaching this game that they can win, but every single time I do it, I hit a wall. Or I'm just like, okay, CIS Rejects can counter them by doing this. And it's not even difficult.
No, yeah, it's just the most well-rounded draft. Just so many counterplays from CIS. Their lineup's not even greedy at all, and they can just execute all the lanes to perfection right now. It's just coming down to execution, I think, and just a little bit of play where right now Kaipi are just kind of like outpicked by like 80%. I would say this is 80-20 looking at picks right now. Pretty easily. And they're talking right now about remaking. Sometimes now they're trying to get the admin in. They want to go on a different server because of ping issues. So
yeah,
we'll
basically Kaipi want to move our servers to Austria. CIS Rejects ping high to Austria, while Kaipi ping high to Luxembourg. So, yeah.
What is? I can't even. It's ping.
Hmm?
I was gonna check the pings. My console doesn't. How do you do the ping in console nowadays?
No idea.
I'm sad. Please reborn.
Hey man, I unbind my console because for some reason, actually, I don't know if I still got it. Do I still have it? Yeah, I've still got it bound. Look what happens when you bind your, you hit your console button. It removes the HUD. the HUD actually.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
The HUD disappears because I unbound this on my profile all the time because I'm just out of fear of hitting that button because it's fairly close to another button I use. And I have buttons all across my keyboard, so normally just like, you know what, just don't do it in case you hit it during a broadcast because then things are just going to get completely screwed up and look wrong. And then at MLG, I had to turn it on because we had to hit that Roshan sound command thing. So, for those who don't know, there's actually a command inside of Dota 2 where you can make it so when Roshan hits something, there's no audio.
What?
Yeah, this is a feature that was installed during TI. It doesn't work 100% of the time, even though the command is meant to. But yeah, because there's so much bass that comes from Roshan hitting something that it vibrates an entire stage. So you got to turn that off, or else the players know that Roshan's being done.
Yeah, I agree.
So
This would be one of the best ways to deal with it.
Yeah, it's always problems when you go to lands for things like that, but it's like one of those ways to
Can
deal
you
with it.
imagine, like in the Roche pit, you would just mute all the sounds in that AOE in that circular,
That would be so weird during a team fight.
yeah.
you'd hear half of what's going on. It would actually
Sonic
be so
wave.
mind blowing.
I didn't hear it.
You hear the start of it and you don't hear the end of it. Ah! As it goes over the wave. Oh, that would be pretty. Yeah, that would screw with the head a hell of a lot, man. I actually kind of got sad at Roshan. I don't know if people noticed this. With Source 2, they changed it because they put this little lava river leading down to Roshan, which also, by the way, means that Roshan is obviously Dire base, like he's Dire bias, because he shares the fountain of the Dire side at his home. Just saying. But they used to have a cave with a whole bunch of little eyes looking out of it, and they removed said cave.
It's okay. We'll get it back one day.
I always had the dream, man.
Source 3?
Is the admin not...
I think he AFK'd.
Admin check 1, 2. That's not a terrific thing, but yeah. So the debate currently is servers. Yeah, but they had little Roshan eyes, and I always wondered, like, why, when heroes spawn from above, like they come in, they land from
down.
above. Yeah, like, why can't Roshan have some similar spawn motion where he comes out from the ground below, or he comes out from the small little cave with eyes where they have baby Roshans in there? And then
we had this discussion before.
And then they grow up like they eat the mushrooms from Mario, like.
Jeez, growing. Just give him the fire mushroom too, because he breathes fire. That's only during dire time. Alright, well, enough of that. I don't want to get on dire tide because. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, we're going to go to a small break, guys, because I got a funny feeling that this debate is not going to be pretty. We'll see you guys back here in a moment. Welcome back, everybody, here to our coverage of Kaipi going up against CIS Rejects. I'm Toby1, joined by Ryu. We are back again. The bot would have no break in it whatsoever, but almost an hour has passed since we started this game. How you holding up there, Ryu?
Wasn't this the original start time?
Yeah.
Or was it?
No.
Or
That
was it
was
19?
no, that was actually an hour ago. That was an hour
Okay.
ago. That's because we ended the previous series 2 hours ago. And then Dota 2 got patched. And
that
then-
was just like 5 minutes.
Yeah. So there's a whole bunch of new Dota TV tickets that were added and everything else. So it was like, okay, this is amazing. Okay, so we're into the game. For those of you who have only
Prepare
just
for
joined us,
battle.
welcome to the game. We are running a Kaipi redraft, even though I had a couple of words to come with me in the break. And to quote the man himself, it's not that greedy.
That's an understatement.
Yeah,
Man,
but
to say the-
I did get their plan. So their plan is to run a dual offlane. So that's how they're gonna try and balance their draft out a little bit more by running a dual offlane.
a dual offlane against this tri-lane? I will be eating my diapers if this works out. I mean, my shoes.
I'm just the messenger
30
man.
seconds
Like
to
I'm not the
battle.
eater of like feces diapers. It's-
I mean, I wouldn't put anything on first. I mean, I'll just. This is just.
It's
Yeah,
it's,
alright.
it's gonna okay. So we were already slightly negative about Kaipi's draft, primarily because of the high levels of greed. It takes a long time for all the heroes to come online, and creating space for these heroes will be a difficult task. But let's see how it goes.
The battle begins.
To start with, the first rune is going to go the way of Iceberg. He'll be able to get that onto his Wind Ranger. The top rune is being babysat by a Lion, but it'll be going into the hands of Cancel so we can get this nice and early bottle. So Kami does the block. The Ember Spirit will be the safe laner. Bone 7 will be the off lane Bat Rider in this game. And they'll run Lion on the top. And we'll watch where Come With Me moves. He's probably going to play this very much like a roaming Earthshaker. The CIS lanes are pretty obvious. It's the Tuskar who did the shard block on top. So just trying to throttle this lane out as much as he can. It puts the Slark as well as the Winter Wyvern down on the bottom lane. This is almost a suicide lane for a Bat Rider because he can't Firefly himself away. And then the roaming always want to fly Earthshaker, which Come With Me is now playing
Oh, the
interference
pounce!
with.
Come on.
He
No,
missed it?
Missed it. Yeah, that would have probably been the death too. That's very unfortunate.
To say the least, yeah.
I just don't even know how he moved that way too. It's like he clicked the creep. It's really weird, aggro, but
Top lane. Afterlife's going to get chipped down a little bit. I was actually waiting for Bessa to level up his Searing Chains, but looks like he's waiting until he can get both Flame Guard and Searing Chains together before he's going to get up in the face of Afterlife. We should also point out too that CIS Rejects lineup is a little bit unusual because they are playing with 4 stand-ins in this game.
Isa blocked in top. He took so much damage. He went from full to half HP. That's just a good.
You might want to see bottom lane instead. Come With Me is the... Wait, do they have... No, there's no Dire Observe Ward over here. Always want to fly. He wants to get out to get this Fissure Line. Like, that's the dream right now. And Come With Me walks over it. And the Fissure Line is not a reality.
They also kind of want to get level 2 for the Slark. There it is. That maybe they should have waited for that. Now he got the Essence Shift. This isn't really good against the Bat Rider, but for taking off the sticky napalm. But it will, however, do a lot more DPS in this lane. Now they're gonna go for it. Here on Come With Me, but
With
Void
the leash,
attack slow.
they don't have enough damage. If you had Splinter Blast at the first level from from the second level from Winter Wyvern, it actually still wouldn't have been enough to kill off Come With Me, but it would have brought him very, very close.
Yeah, the attack slow from the Void was too much.
Yeah.
If they had a fissure there, it could have potentially gotten the kill.
Oh, this mid
wasn't
lane.
there. Oh, mid lane.
Iceberg's just going ham. Night Stalker's actually going to be killed by a neutral creep, but then the perfect shackle, the power shot. The Windrun will let him evade the attacks from the tower, and he can get the bottle in, trigger the Salve, and this mid lane was already been heavily won. It's 14-5 up against 5-1. Is the CS between the Wind Ranger as well as the SF.
that's just what happens. And now he's got boots already. He's gonna have quick phase boots. That's a nightmare against the Shadow Fiend when you have all that bonus damage. Then you can easily keep up with the attack sometimes.
It's not even just the bonus damage, it's the fact that you don't have any souls in the SF after dying. Snowball's going to come in, and he's going to lose even more of his souls. The Shard's damage as well as block do the work. And Wind Ranger now takes a second kill
Dire's
on
middle
cancel.
tower is under attack.
And Kaipi, in a world of hurt, a greedy draft, and you already lost your mid solo twice. And because it's so greedy, your Lion's just doing pulls and finding farm. He's not doing stacks. And it's not like the Radiant side with the SF where you can just like lean yourself into your jungle and grab yourself a quick stack nice and quick. It's a lot more
At this
difficult
rate,
now.
Shadow Fiend might have to go to the jungle himself
Bone
just to
7,
farm.
they got the leash as well. And Bone 7, they're going to hold him there longer. The Flame Break's going to push him back. And with the
Nice
Firefly,
Flame
he will be able to escape. But, yeah.
I mean, Bone 7 is getting levels in the offlane. That's, I guess, the one saving grace. He's also going to get this creep wave here, but they also can just keep setting up for the fissure into the pounce. So with this Firefly being on cooldown, I don't know how much. Yeah, I don't know how much Bone 7 can get. This is going to be a lot of pressure on the tier 1 tower, and he can't even get close now.
Bottom tower
Yep.
is under attack.
If he does, he'll just end up feeding a kill. And they've
I
already
wonder if
fed
it would
too
have been
much.
worth it for him to use the mango just to pull the creep wave with the flame break.
It might be, but at the same time, like, you'd only be delaying the inevitable. Because CISR will just fall back and then attack again later on. Like, yeah, this is the catapult wave. Are they going to TP in more help? Because Come With Me is not going to be successful here. The Fissure will go, the Leash will actually latch onto him, and Goblak's right behind him. They do still have a Cold Embrace, so even if Kaipi try and turn this one around, they could just be hurt even more. And Come With Me, Donato Roshan, the big man's going to punch him. Able to do it. So
I would say Kaipi is getting a lot of lucky breaks in this game so far. Maybe not in the mid lane, but definitely on the Bat Rider early on, and then now there for the Night Stalker. So they could be bleeding a lot more, but still, we can talk about, I guess, the Ember Spirit now. Once his rotations come in, then the team fights maybe will start turning around for Kaipi.
So with his rotations, are we looking for like the early game kind of build? Or you actually get like something like an Urn over an Ember Spirit and get him to fight early on? Is that the play?
Maybe, I feel like Ember Spirit, you still need a bottle, no matter what, or Aquila. I still think you need the bottle always, because you're always going to go back to base. It's like having a Tinker on your team. You're always going to want to use that abuse, and it's afterwards. I would say maybe even to a drums. Like they really have to fight early on. Like the most early game build, Magic Wand, drums, phase boots, even maybe, or if you really want to run at people, or if you want to just survive, just get the strength treads.
And this is what Bone 7 has been reduced to. Fireflying and sticky napalming for one camp as this Bat Rider to give himself like 8 CS now.
Dire's middle tower is under
But you are
attack.
right, he did find a lot of levels, so that lasso timing isn't going to be terrible. A shard and power shot into the trees. Cancel backed up very early on. That's a great thing for him, especially up against a double damage rune. Wind Ranger, who now... Oh no! The Shackle and Focus Fire with the DD rune. Oh, that's not the dream.
It's like whoever goes to these lanes is going to be food.
Dire's bottom
It's just
tower
free
is under
food.
attack.
The only food right now is the Shadow Fiend. He's died 3 times. Come on,
But
he's
yeah, bottom
hovering
lane
around
too.
the lane, but like he got dropped pretty low, but they can't finish the job just yet.
Yeah, I was watching them go on him. It's just full
Radiant's top
HP
tower
to
is under
1/4 of
attack.
your HP, and that happens for the Bat Rider too. And then you can't even stay
Hi,
in lane.
Lion. What's up, bro?
Oh, he's blocked too.
Yeah, but the shards, that's going to block him a secondary time. Okay, that power shot was a very big miss. But they
No,
see-
he was trying to CS, but he actually didn't get
this is worth the steal. Like, you're about to take a triple stack right now. The Cancel wants to come over and grab this, and Kaipi are going to contest it. The mana isn't terrific for CISR, but they've held on to their mana on the Earthshaker. Kami just walks up. So they snowball in to Come With Me. There's no mana for a shard, so instead he'll pop off the Sigil as SF competes for the CS and Visa. He's going to come in. Iceberg gives away his life. That's actually quite big. They went to contest up the camp, and now they're going to be losing 2 heroes, both the Earthshaker and the Wind Ranger.
Don't worry, not one piece of
Yeah, all in all, in the end, not worth it at all. Giving the Ember Spirit these kills, that's one of the other tempo controllers in this game. Shadowfiend's just going to be playing catch-up until he can get the mech, but you get these kills on the Ember, you get these kills on the Night Stalker, that's going to help him a lot in the early game. And speaking...
And you can't afford to help him. This Snowball now is actually going to get the kill on the Tusker. Nighttime might wear off, but with a Spirit Jump in, that's one charges to get the Flame Guard up. Afterlife going to throw out the shards to try and block him out. But Iceberg, all he wants to do is try and get a revenge kill over on Come With Me. The Beast is doing a very good job of blocking him out, especially when Kansas hit all 3 razors. And that's big for him. That's the bonus souls in as well. And leveling the scoreboard up at 4 apiece. CIS are biting off a lot more than they can chew.
Yeah, we were talking about it earlier if nobody was listening. It was just like, all right, so one thing's going to happen. Either you're going to get a lot of kills, snowball, and win the game, or you're going to dive too deep, and then they're just going to have immediate TP reactions and great rotations from Kaipi, and they're just going to turn it around. And meanwhile, Bone 7 just on his own, got his level 6 now. He didn't get his ulti, however, on Bone 7. So he's gonna have to wait till level 7.
He's farming, man. He understands the ulti won't do jack until he's got the extra cash. So maybe that's the reason why that you get Sticky Napalm, Firefly up once more. And the Flame Break change up really makes it really worthwhile putting an early point in it.
Yeah, I've seen people max Flame Break too. It does an insane amount of damage, but
it's actually in ways more efficient than
it
Firefly. But at the same time, you can't.
It's just too much mana.
Yeah, that's kind of it. Like the basic mechanic of Firefly, for the cost of Firefly, is just too good for farming up stacks. But if you want to win during team fights, hell yeah, Flame Break the whole way.
Yeah, you can't Firefly and Flame Break. That's like 240 mana. You can't efficiently spam these out unless you have your bottle. In which case, normally you don't have it up and running that early because, yeah, what you want to get is the Bat Boots and Tranquil Boots and just run around freely. So you have that max movement speed. Else you're just going to be picked off all the time.
The jungle stacks are real. Cancel will fail his, but still successful one from Buffany. Or even able to get rid of that observable. It cost him a little bit of life because of the power shot, but that's fine. Slark can't finish off this tier 1 tower. In fact, Bone 7's going to come down. There's some easy CS for him to grab. And underneath this tower like this, when he's also got Flame Break, he can actually outplay the Slark. Even if Slark does have his Shadow Dance already up. And with a double damage...
Probably would have needed another hero there. And yeah, there's double damage.
That's it.
What can they do with this? I mean, they could have had the mid tier 1 by now, for sure. Instead of diving and getting those deaths in the creep camp, they could have instead traded for mid. But this should be enough pressure with the double damage rune to, take a tower. Their first one's gonna be on bottom. Oh, Fissure, Bone 7.
Yeah, lock him in, and there's the control factor they need. Bone 7's gonna drop. 30 seconds on the sideline. That also bought space for the Earthshaker to get the kill. Man, these death animations are like something is really off in Source 2. The bat just turns himself upside down. All you see is his mouth as well as like underbelly of the bat.
It likes to change up things, They don't want to keep anything the same. Everything's new.
Quick pause out from Cancel. It's going to reconnect back in again. I'm assuming because of some kind of because of some kind of ping issue.
His death, once he's died 3 times, it's changed, so he has to reconnect, so it changes the way he dies. But he's got a buckler now. He's not looking terrible because of that kill that he did manage to get. He's at 49 CS. He is behind, but I want to say at least 15 of those are probably the jungle or something because he did retreat into it early on.
Yeah. I'd actually say most of it is the jungle. So... you are right. He had to give up the mid lane. And this is the second time it's happened to where the SF moves over into the jungle and Come With Me takes up the mid lane. So this Night Stalker, hilariously enough, because he got involved in a couple of kills. Yeah, Come With Me died twice. But it's just Come With Me things. You've got 2 kills and 1 assist on this Night Stalker. 11 minutes in. Doesn't really seem that great, but when you're running such a greedy lineup like what Kaipi is doing, it's actually quite good, because the Night Stalker is able to fight in the mid game with this start. The Lion's already got level 6. So while you don't have a lot of items on him, he's about to finish up his Tranquil Boost in 15 gold. But that's kind of enough for a Lion, because Tranquils as well as Mana Drain, Lion's normally known as the 4th position because you have to get Blink Dagger money on him. But he's also really good for utility. Through both Mana Drain and Tranquil Boots, you never have to use any kind of consumables. So all that extra money can go into things like Observer Wards and Smokes and that kind of jazz.
Yeah, it's the same concept as the Crystal Maiden, where you just have that aura always up all the time, and then Tranquil Boots. You always need to have Tranquil Boots too, just because of that movement speed, and it helps a lot when you're playing these supports that have less movement speed, like Crystal Maiden, Lion. You really need to get into these team fights, so it's an all-around good item here. And I'm trying to think now, like, what is gonna happen, because it's almost nighttime in 40 seconds here, or 35 if you want to be precise. And what are they gonna do with Kaipi? Are they gonna farm up? Batrider just died. He's not gonna have a quick Blink Dagger whatsoever.
I can answer that question, man. When
What
you
are
go
they gonna do?
when you go greed, you eat. Like, you just keep feeding and feeding. I mean, no, sorry, that's the other way around. You keep getting fed. Yeah. So you that was an analogy going horribly wrong. They just keep farming. Like,
Because you haven't had your dinner, Toby. I'm gonna feed you after this series.
I am a little peckish. But yeah, Kaipi, all they gotta do is just keep farming. Get that Blink Dagger on the Batrider. And when nighttime hits around, the Batrider and the Night Stalker, they go hunting. Ember Spirit as well as the SF just keep farming in the meantime. If there's a chance for them to fight because CIS are like diving into towers, TP in and attack. Or counter attack. And just keep going that way. You're getting the only mech on the SF, which means there will be some times when Kaipi will be looking to force down buildings. But that should still only be the SF joining like Lion, Night Stalker, and Batrider as a 4 group. Let the Ember Spirit farm and just keep farming. Get the Battle Fury up and running and become that complete menace the Ember Spirit can be. So yeah, that would be, I think, in my mind, the plan for KP.
Yeah, speaking of Ember Spirit, you look at his build right now. He has Poor Man's Shield, Magic Wand Bottle, and Aquila. He has a lot of regen, and he has extra stats, a lot of survivability right now. He doesn't really need to go drums. He's probably saving up for Boots of Travel here, just so he can always be farming, split pushing, and then join his team. This is not really a safe game for him, though, to be split pushing that much. So
yeah,
I think he's just saying, like, hey, I know my team potentially might feed here. We're going to have to split push the lanes if they get picked off.
Well,
or
actually, what catches him out? Because
Fissure, Snowball, with Wyvern ulti, Shadowblade, Slark.
Snowball can't really get him, though.
True.
Like, you have to have a Blink Walrus Punch, almost a Blink Shackle, because you can
but
just
I think
spirit
the
away.
Fissure into the... Like, they have a lot of setup things. Like, Fissure can set up to anything, and then Wyvern ulti can set up to anything.
Yeah.
They have long cast range.
But that's kind of it for me, though. Like, it's Fissure and Wyvern ulti. That's the only thing is it can really control out the Ember. Because you're not going to... Like, any kind of projectile. Snowball is still a projectile. Shackle is a projectile. And Slark's Leash can't... Like, it doesn't hold the Ember Spirit in position as long as he's got a defensive spirit. He should be able to jump himself away. I'm wondering if it might be worthwhile prioritizing a little bit more fun area to Afterlife, so we can get to that Blink Dagger. Once you get that, then you're hunky-dory. But then again, maybe you're still relying on Walrus Punch as your only controller.
You could even still go back on Wind Ranger to go for the Blink Dagger here. Casual point booster isn't too bad if you're really thinking you need more initiation, which I don't really think they need it. So just having more survivability.
Come on, Me's coming top. Puts the illusion behind the tower to start with, and then runs at him. Afterlife's already used his shards and goes in for the snowball. Chasing Come With Me all the way over into the tree line. You'll still be able to connect on him. But because he's so far down, there's no way the Ember Spirit's going to jump. He did have 3 spirits available to commit, but decides against it.
Bone 7. Oh, nice stack. Triple stack, baby. Here we go. Flame on, and
Really?
this is going to be easy.
You're going Fantastic Four on it?
Hey, you know, I've only seen 2 of those. Is there 3?
There's 3. There's the
Dyer's
new one that
bottom
came out,
tower is
but it
under
was
attack. I didn't see that.
mediocre to say the least. Hilariously enough, I actually watched Fantastic Four last night. the old 1995 movie. It's
That's
uh,
how was that one?
well, it was terrible as always, but
So as good as this game, alright? No, I'm just kidding. This game is great. This game is great. No, this is a really just relax, Toby. I'm just joking.
of course,
Bottom lane. No, I'm just-
not yet, man. Not yet. If the Lion walked out a little bit earlier, then maybe there'd be the chance. This Observe Ward sees. Always want to fly retreating. But it's so difficult to get aggressive. Like, you know the Observe Ward had to be replaced, and that's the only reason he would make a walk like that. So the Observe Ward's over the top of the Roshan pit, which means also Always Want to Fly sees Bone 7 coming down for this rune. Flame Break, going to push Always Want to Fly down. It's fine by him. And then, in fact, they're going to snowball Bone 7. He ran out of Firefly. He ran out of juice. The Finger of Death, however, it snipes out the slug. The kill from above. Komi wants to keep fighting. Now, he does actually have us during darkness, and he just gets short of the double damage. Always Want to Fly keeps his son going. With a totem hit, he can inflict a heavy chunk of damage into that Night Stalker. Echo Slam as well, but Ember Spirit's shield protects him from most of it. The ultimate coming out from SF2 will do the work. Not enough to find himself a kill, but it keeps the rest of CISR focused on, well, Kaipi. So the Ember Spirit's able to do his thing. They actually are getting kills. They're getting better advantages during fights, Kaipi. They're...
That just finger onto the Slark basically set up the whole thing. That was a nice snowball save coming in against the Requiem, though. They didn't take damage, but man, that was a Lion MVP moment right there. And come with me on the hunt. Go Black. Could be in trouble here.
He still hasn't silenced him yet. Throws out the urn. Now he can actually go for the silence, but the Arctic Burn flies out. Kami actually dodges the Fissure of Always Want to Fly. It locks him in, and in fact he'll silence on the Earthshaker, so there's no secondary stun. Try and juke it left and right, but the Creep Wave getting in trouble. But there's his help. Ember Spirit will come in, gets the slide of fifth and the Searing Chains over on the Earthshaker. The Cold Embrace will protect him while, come with me, pumped up and towards the air, fly that Walrus Punch. The SF unsure where he wants to really fight. Throws out one raise into the Tusk Up. He doesn't have enough damage to find himself a real kill here.
Oh no.
Oh wow, that's problematic. He's still got the mech, however. So I'm not seeing.
Not
okay.
anymore.
Yeah. I was gonna say I'm not seeing a problem until he gets shackled. But what are you supposed to do? Like there's trees here, there's here, everywhere. So Wind Ranger is gonna get a shackle on you.
It'd been funny if it was on the baby black dragon too. And that would just be the nail in the coffin right there. But this is... Yeah, this is just the same thing that happened to CIS when they dove past the tower. Like, why are you going past the tier 1 tower? Just... They're going diving on the tier 4, or tier 2 tower. There's no reason for Kami to really be back there. It's just not beneficial at all. Just baited his team into a really bad position.
And now Kaipi starts to lose out heavily. They're going to lose the tier 1 tower in mid. This puts them 2 towers behind that of CISR, even though I think that bottom tower was denied previously. But this opens up Roshan, which CIS have obviously made a point of. They've got 2 Observe Wards on left and right side of the Roche pit. They want to know the second Kaipi goes anywhere near it. They're going to come for kills. Shadow Fiend. Well, there's no camp. He's waiting for it to spawn, and the Spirit over the top breaks the smoke.
Yeah, they knew, Kaipi knew that they were smoking. Something felt really fishy. They didn't see anyone defending bottom lane. That's an easy tell, right, when you're having creep wave. Or maybe they're scared of an enemy smoke. But in this case, it was pretty easy. But Bone 7 now has his blink online. He is still... I want to say he's still not as useful as you want him to be. He still needs to be to have a Force Staff to be really impactful. They have so many things just to counter him still. They have like Wyvern ulti. If you're good at a Slark, Dark Pact in time, Shackles, Fissure, like everything counters Bat Router this game, and he needs to have a Force Staff, and as well as he needs to have a BKB.
All right, so tier 1 tower is going to go down the bottom. Let's at least push Bone 7 towards some of those items you were talking about. The Observer was a little bit too far. He can't reach him. He can't reach the
Radiant's
Slark. The
bottom
Slark
tower
also
is
goes
under
invis.
attack.
Bone 7 will do the same, stealing that invis rune. But this just guarantees the tier 1 tower in the bottom lane. But Cancel's backing up. Like the... He's...
I mean, both teams are
Radiant's
playing
bottom
really
tower
scared right
is
now.
under attack.
Yeah, but
Like,
you,
both are
you
giving-
have an
Radiant
Observer Ward and
structures
a
are
Night Stalker to
fortified.
restrict vision, and
Well, it could be smoked up too.
could be.
Radiant's bottom tower has
But that's why
fallen.
you just put the Night Stalker, like, in this little tree line here. With this Observer
Right.
Ward there, you are going to break the smoke when someone rotates down. And you've got the movement speed to run yourself away. So there's no reason to play that kind of defensive nature unless it's by pure paranoia. You think the Slark has managed to Shadow Blade himself in. Bone 7 needs help. He really wants Iceberg here.
No, the person who needs help is always want to fly, man. You got it wrong.
Oh,
nice.
Syrian chains and silent. There's no way back out of this one until the Slark comes in. Pounces over on Kaipi, but that's a 10 stick charge Night Stalker. He'll get them off, and very, very tanky, only able to get a void in return. Bone 7 was fireflying himself up, but couldn't get there in time to help his teammate out.
That's a better trade for
Radiant's
Kaipi
bottom
because
tower is under
Earthshaker
attack.
almost had his blink dagger. Like, he's really being silent right now
Radiant
for the
structures
team
are
always want to fly.
fortified.
Creeping up on that
Radiant's
blink dagger. And then when
middle
he
tower
has
is
that
under attack.
online, I'm going to be very worried for Kaipi until they have the BKB. So, well, talking about that, BKB almost, how much? That's not even almost completed. I thought he might have one more component, but SF is really hurting this game. 1 and 4.
I'm actually wondering if BKB is the best choice for him here. Like, I know there's a lot of magical damage coming out, but like, do you still need SF to be a fighter, or do you get enough of that out from
Radiant's
the Ember
bottom
Spirit?
tower is under attack.
Yeah, at this stage, when you're so far behind, you have to go for a BKB. It's kind of like the same situation. Sometimes Quaps have to go in, or a Storm Spirit, like last ditch effort. You don't want to, but in this case, you have to, and just hope that you'll have enough lockdown and burst from the Lion, and then the DPS is going to come from Ember Spirit.
I'll take that.
Just want to do a public service announcement. Hi, guys. If you are tuning in right now, we are doing multiple streams for Join Dota at the moment. Camp and Turk are streaming out the defense, our Join Dota tournament. You can find that one over at joindota.com. The links are all over there. Got Complexity going up against Power Rangers right now, as well as Monkey Business going up against ATN will be the next games. And we have more defense games coming up tomorrow night. And of course, the D2CL. I can't give you a date when the next game will be, but it should be scheduled pretty soon. We're at the point where you finish one game, the result then dictates the next matchup, and then we try and schedule it as early as we can. So, Dota 2 action coming out every day of the week. Even WCA qualifiers coming out this weekend. So if you want to sign your team up for that one, if you don't know about that one, there's actually like $13,000, $14,000 prize pool for an open qualifier, and the winner gets to go to China for WCA, where there's over $100,000 prize pool. I think it's actually up around 300,000, but I don't have a confirmed number on that yet. But yeah, go check it out, boys. Sign
All right,
yourself
I'm on
up.
it.
Yeah.
I'm on it.
Get your team in, Ryu.
Me and you.
No, I got a cast
Why cast when you can play?
because I like casting and I suck at playing.
Jeez, that
Well,
That went down so
I'm
fast.
sorry, I'm no
Always.
TI winner. Always on a fly, gonna get fingered, dragged back. They will be protected a little bit in the shackle. It latches up on Come With Me. Always on a fly, will still go down. And Come With Me with these stick charges. Can he get away? Nah, they're gonna curse him up and then ball him up as well. Snowballing in to get the kill. Making it a 1-for-1 trade-off. Slark wants more out of this, but all he can find is the Ember Spirit, which is not a kill.
All right, there it is. So he did go for the Blink Dagger first and then the Ags. They were really feeling kind of pressured where they needed another initiator, a good initiator. So now that he has Ags online with the Wind Ranger, that Night Stalker kill will be tremendously easy now. So looking over at the side of Kaipi, what do they have to do? That's a good space-making kind of play for your Shadow Fiend. Like, you really need him to get back in the game. They really need this BKB if they want to hold their fights. And I want to say that was a really good lasso, just setting up, the initial fight, even though it was only a 1-for-1. I think a lot came. I think it's benefiting Kaipi a lot, just because I'm not sure how you feel about their late game.
Kaipi's late game craps all over CIS.
Oh,
Even with your Echo Slam, the Ember Spirit got caught with his shields down. like CIS have like grab material, like grab abilities, but up against something like a Blink Lasso, it's difficult to say in the late game that CIS have a better advantage there. And then you've still got a big SF ult, you've still got the Night Stalker vision. As long as Night Stalker can stay alive, but that's made very, very difficult. A great vision lineup. May not even get to late game at this rate. Iceberg can be put under with a cold embrace and cancel. He doesn't really have much more to give. He's getting it all stolen away by this Slark, shifting out the essence. Bone7 has to blink himself away. So Kaipi missed the initial engagement. And then that blink dagger from the Earthshaker goes to work again. Perfect vision line, the Requiem of Souls in kind of nothing. The curse felt early, but without the Night Stalker, there was nothing for Kaipi.
Yeah, kind of late game would be the sense where you have to, whoever gets the jump feels like they'll kind of, like right now, CIS, it just feels like their heroes are just geared more to just these team fights when you don't have all your items. Like if they have BKBs on Kaipi, yeah, sure, these team fights could be very even, but when you're just getting locked down the whole time by shackles, fissures, I mean, this is just great plays all around coming in from CIS.
It's the scary mid game. It's just the scary mid game from CIS. Their heroes all come to like the sweet spot. Like in this time of the game, like 25 minutes to 30 minutes in, they're loving this. Kaipi want to keep dodging. This Ember Spirit wants to keep split pushing. He's got Battle Fury BTs only at the moment. There's no Crystals, there's no Daedalus up for him. The SF still does not have this BKB 25 minutes in. And the Night Stalker is trying to now go in towards an Aghanim Scepter. But these last like 3-4 deaths in the last 10-15 minutes, it's difficult, man.
Yeah, it's just because they need so much farm, as you talked about earlier. Just like every single one of them needs so much farm on
Lion's still going for Blink Dagger. Like Buffany thinks he can still get to the Blink Dagger. Bone7 thinks he can finish up a BKB as well. But they need to do exactly what Beast is doing right now. Like you just farm up the Radiant jungle, take everything that CISR have got, and then still try and keep farming your own. But this SF is so fearful, and rightly so. It's a smoke gank from CISR, and they're going to find two. But Kaipi's the only one left behind. The Ember Spirit just spirits himself away. And Kaipi will be able to escape with just the death of Night Stalker.
That's... I want to say that death isn't also bad, but they're probably going to get a rush out of it. So it is going to be... They have a double damage on Ren Ranger. Does he have buyback? No, they're not even going to contest. So with that pick off, it's going to transition to the Roche.
You do still have that Ember Spirit in there, however.
Yeah, he can steal it.
Yep.
You just keep a Remnant outside right now, and then you can potentially... You can even Sleight of Fist steal it too, so...
I remember there was a guy over on Reddit that was bitching about that, where players keep jumping into the Spirits and not jumping out at the right time with Spirit Control. Like, why'd you use Sleight of Fist to try and grab the Aegis in the middle of the slice? But
I think ulting in is way more... Slight is not as reliable.
Oh, the jump! Bone7 goes in! There's your jump in with the Spirit, but no, he missed the timing for it! The Bat Rider is down, Roshan is taken, the Aegis Immortal is
on the ground forever. All right, well. That would have been the easiest Aegis steal ever.
No, really, who's got that? I don't know. I don't know. Who's taking Ember Spirit?
It's not like two people just came in. It's not like two people just came into the Roche pit at all. What's the hurry?
It's fine. You're doing fine. Relax. This guy is almost done for the Slark. Like, his stats are getting better and better. The Ember Spirit still has more net worth than him, and he is about to complete up the Crystallis. But the Wind Ranger tops them all, with a Blink, Aghanims, and 3.2k on Iceberg. Okay, what's the dream item for the Wind Ranger in this game now?
I would say MKB. You need MKB for the Crippling Fear, mostly. The Lion just got pieced out.
I think also Come With Me is going to join him. That pounce off cooldown, and there it is. Pouncing on Night Stalker, always on a fly control maneuver is perfect. And that's actually the Skadi with those 2 kills. Gave him enough money to finish the job.
Yeah. I mean, he could still go Daedalus. Daedalus does a lot more DPS than MKB, but just to have the potential of Shadow Fiend, he can always go for the Butterfly late game. You can shore that up. The Crippling Fear is, I want to say, the biggest issue. And... So, like, it's just up to what he wants to do. He can, honestly, he needs a BKB too, but if he has this Aegis right now, you really don't need to have it. Then you can play as aggressive as you want.
Just put the bottle on the sidelines and grab yourself something like that Monkey King bar. I'm down with that, man. And then get the BKB up next. Where are you off to, Dodo?
He's got a null talisman he picked up. He's doing good, man. How much is that? I forget. 230?
Is it null talisman?
No, when you sell it. Sell it.
I don't know the sell cost.
See, half. Oh, it's 235. Yeah, it'll be 235.
470 to buy. Well,
yeah, imagine a world of Dota with everything costing 230. No talisman bracers.
I know, that's why like, you said 230. I'm like, wait. I know things it's got a lot cheaper, but back in my day.
Back in my day. Bone 7 is fishing in the wrong place.
Yeah, well, there's a lot of fish. Just none he can catch. Flame breaks the creep wave from behind to get him to look behind.
4 TV scrolls.
Why?
He's got. He's probably died and
spammed
it.
He might have also taken them all.
No,
oh wait, no, because then they
tower
actually
is
appear
under
as individual
attack.
item slots in your
Dire's
inventory.
structures are fortified.
So he actually legitimately bought 4 TP scrolls of his own.
Probably got flamed for it when he was on Cloud 9. Still remembers that base race where they lost to RTZ.
Wait, just to RTZ? Was it only to RTZ?
And
just because he was playing Lycan?
I'm in S4.
Just because he was playing Lycan. Oh, Bone 7. Gets on the cliff side just in time. Flame breaks him down. Shadow Dance from Slark also being committed, but yeah. This is CIS side is going for the better trade-off now. They take tier 1 and tier 2 tower for the trade-off of their own tier 2 tower on the bottom lane.
Radiant structures are fortified.
I suppose it poses the question, who pushes faster now?
Oh, definitely an Eggs Wind Ranger. But Shadowfang does a good amount of damage too, I mean, but that's only just because of the souls. He doesn't really have the Saint and Yasha, as you were talking about, doesn't have a butterfly for the attack speed. So I would definitely say the Wind Ranger. And speaking of her, Iceberg picking up at Lincoln's. This is...
You wanted one way to break free of that crippling fear. That's one way to do it. But more than likely, it's for the last 2 problems.
Yeah. Biggest problem with the Lincolns is, yeah, it'll help you for the lasso, but it doesn't help you with the Lion Blinken. Because you can Blinken, stun, Hex, and then...
It's not bad, though, for, like... Because the...
I think it's good. No, I think it's good. You can put it on your frontliner, too, and that'll be helpful. I'm surprised, you know, thinking about it, Lincoln's is really good, too, here, as well as the Lotus Sword. But I don't know if anybody will be able to pick that up. Only person I could see would be Afterlife, and I think he wants to get a Blink Dagger next, but...
I kind of it's okay with it for the Wind Ranger, because it's just stats and regeneration. Like, it's difficult to go wrong with that. And you've already got your Blink Dagger, which will put you in aggressive positions. The double Blinks now arriving for Kaipi. Both SF and Line completing this at this time. It couldn't have come at a better time for Kaipi.
Oh, Aegis is about to run out. Right. Oh.
No.
I can't do math. Man.
Boom. There, you can't read analog. That's not math, man. That's analog.
Yo, that clock is 2 sundialed. It's too hard.
It's not even sundial.
Yeah, it is. It's a the 2D version of a sundial.
That defeats the purpose of a sundial. Have it in 2 dimensions. The level of science that you just broke is unbelievable. Well, Iceberg, there's your Blink Lasso. They're able to drag him back. The Cold Embrace means there's no real magical damage connecting, but that Fissure block will lock him into the Flame Ring, pushes him back over again. Iceberg, he just takes all the damage. They kept him hexed up, so there's no Wind Ranger for this fight, but the Slark, he's jumping in there. He's stolen 15 of the essence from Come With Me. He can't find much more with no more Shadow Dance. In fact, the Ember Spirit killing off the Tuskar. Now they move to the Wyvern as well. It's kill after kill, and in fact, 666. The Devil is away. Running out through the bottom. Ember Spirit doesn't want to give it up here. Spirit's forward, Spirit's down, but that's, yeah, not going to find the slot.
Yeah, that's just playing really aggressive when you don't have the Aegis, and like I said, it's really easy to cancel the Lincolns there. It's not even all that hard. Always Wanna Fly has an Echo Slam. He looks like he's on the prowl, but he needs somebody else if he really wants to kill Bisa. Unless he gets a creep wave. Oh, Slark is coming in.
That's the way to do it. Echo Slam once, Fissure, stun, boom. Ember Spirit down for 70 seconds, but buyback is available.
So end of the day, 1-for-3 trade now. Definitely gonna go to the side of Kaipi a little bit, but with that Ember kill, it allows CIS to really push out the lanes again, and they can do whatever they want. I feel. It did. Let's see, when's the next nighttime? Because that's going to be huge for Kaipi now that they have the Ags, and they should have the gym soon here. Oh,
I'm interested. Yeah, this SF's going to be in a little bit of trouble. Like he's trying to bait the BKB, and that's exactly what he gets. But he can't get himself out. Even with the BKB, you still burn a BKB and your life.
His way with you.
That's not the dream.
Yeah, BKB does not stop Scotty, folks. That.
It does not. You still keep getting slowed up. But you try to juke it around the tree anyway. Here's a question for you. The Aghanim's upgrade passive you get when you unobstructed vision during nighttime, is that removed by Silver Edge? Because I'm assuming Hunter the Night is removed. But the Ag's upgrade, my process of thought process is no, it doesn't get removed.
I would feel like it should remove the nighttime for 5 seconds, making the day.
That would be OP.
But that's only when it uses it during the day. Like, and then when it's nighttime, I think it should take away the obstructed vision. But going back to, I know why he BKB'd. I mean, the reason why he BKB'd because he was pounced and he wanted to break free of that so he could actually run and take a little bit less damage.
It's just understanding that you don't really have much to work with. Lion just gets popped. You might blink last super, there's no one to do any kind of damage to the iceberg, and this time around, you're not fighting underneath towers. So Bone 7 going to get cursed up and controlled, punched into his own death. And even the Yule step the control. That comes out from the Earthshaker. SF will get the Requiem of Souls off, but where is the real follow-up? He's going for the Razor. 666 is just tanking through Moser with the side of Fifth Searing Chains, doing serious work. But the problem is that Cold Embrace, giving the life back to Slark. He's able to leap himself away. The Ember Spirit will survive through all of this, but the SF would he just had a dieback. That's actually mid-racks right there.
Yeah, he buys back and he doesn't have his souls. If he had Requiem, max souls, he could have done a lot in that team fight, but he didn't. As you said, he bought back, and that's definitely a set of racks, if not more. They don't even have Bone 7 with Lasso when he comes up.
Yep.
Dire's middle tower has fallen.
I think this might be 2 sets here, yeah. This is...
The funny thing is, though, the Greed brought this so close, like if Kaipi just had a little bit more, of an advantage gain during their fights in the mid game, they could have actually won this game and the Greed would have paid off.
Maybe if Ember didn't just get picked off in the mid lane, and then them taking, like you said, taking a team fight outside of base when it's not nighttime, that's not smart.
They're actually getting ready to fight. Blink Dagger, Bone 7, Godblack, he's the man to be dragged back, and that new Desolator coming in for the Ember Spirit, but they've just lost their line who blinked himself forward. Then the Ember Spirit wants to go for more. A nice Searing Chains over on 2, but always want to fly. Echo sends back off cooldown. The Flame Guard just dissipated for the Ember Spirit. So now he's down as well. The blink back from the SF will help save him, but the Shackle, it latches over on 2. Always want to fly, gets the follow-up some. The Snowball's coming in as well. It rolls over the top of the SF to get behind the lines. Come on me as another target, and that's GG. They've lost too many players. 27-13. Game 1 of this best of 3 series will go the way of the CIS Rejects.
Yeah, and CIS Rejects, they were kind of throwing them a bone, right? They were diving early on, giving them, and then Kaipi did the same thing. They threw them a bone. Here, we'll dive past your tier 1 tower. We'll give you some kills that are not needed, and then it made the game kind of close, like you said. They were only down 5,000 gold the entire game, which is not too much going into 36 minutes. So this is just an all-out, team fight, and it came down to CIS just winning out, just fighting in the bottom lane was just game-ending. You don't have Night Stalker ulti up, you don't have Shadow Fiend with max souls, and it was just very unfortunate that.
And the buyback commit also crippled them beyond anywhere else. That's the reason why they tried to take that top fight. The last one after you lost 2 lanes of racks, as you knew, unless you grab something amazing right then and there, all you're doing is delaying the game and your life for another 15 minutes. So they fought it, it failed. CIS Rejects go 1-up in this best of 3, who will advance themselves forward into the quarterfinals of the D2CL playoffs. We'll find out after this break.